Yeah, I think we're up and running. Well, hello, beautiful people.
Hi, guys, and welcome to our webinar for Rewire Your Mind. This is a little intro, especially for you,
Mitch, just a tiny, tiny intro.
wherever you are in the world. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in.
We just again want to take 2 seconds to acknowledge that. I mean, when you are kind of searching to gain awareness and information that helps you change habits and change beliefs and do all that courageous stuff that is super challenging. It can come a lot with a lot of, I don't know, shame, a lot of ego stuff of I'm not right, this isn't correct, this doesn't serve me. We just again want to take those 2 seconds to acknowledge the fact that you have done awesome. Everything
Yes,
that you've done up to this point is beautiful and perfect and fantastic. And the fact that you
yeah,
had just have that awareness in thinking, well, maybe I want to do it a little bit better. Amazing.
yes. And the mere fact that you're tuning into a webinar like this, then you are one of the 3% of the
Yeah.
world,
Yeah.
wanting to create that awareness and improve their lives, basically.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
feel better.
So welcome to this intro.
Yeah.
And we are so excited and so pumped to
Oh,
be able to
yes.
share our experience and
Yeah.
what's kind of helped us grow and to kind of pass on those tools and techniques that will really kind of, I hope, resonate with you and
Yes.
really, digest in a way that, you can do this. This is anyone
Yeah.
has this power for sure.
Absolutely.
So we might even just start with maybe the understanding. I might skip just ahead a little bit. Oh, about us. Let's start there first before we dive into the good stuff.
We want to make it all about you, really. But
Well, I mean, us as a collective, us as a
mhm,
beautiful duo, we've
yeah,
worked together for how many years?
gosh, too many years. We'll have to lie about it. It's not that many
Oh,
years.
couple
More
decades.
than maybe about 10. Yeah.
But in such a coaching format,
Yes.
I don't know for you, but for me, this feels very strange to be sitting down in a coaching space
Yes.
because normally we're in front of classes where movement plays such a part in that.
Yeah.
So my feet are wanting to salsa as we talk, and I've got to fight that. But that
Don't
element,
fight it.
could you imagine? We're just gonna have
Don't
a
fight
salsa.
it. Don't fight it.
And so, I mean, yeah, we started. I worked for Sherylanne while she was running Salsa Republic. I was one of her coaches,
So it's was a dance school. So we both come from quite an extensive dance background.
which is amazing because
Yeah.
movement in itself. Oh my goodness, we could run a whole seminar on just how movement
Yes.
can have such progression for you as a human and as a person.
Yeah.
And maybe down the track we will. So, if that's something you want to do, pop it in the comments. Let us know how that goes, if
Yeah.
that's something you're interested in for sure. And again, too, and then after that, we had quite a separation in life. What were you doing through this time, Shane?
So I've been in Europe for nearly 3 years, and I've been teaching at so many different retreats, workshops, and events around Europe. So we're taking this time. I'm back in Australia. This is beautiful Sydney, Australia behind us. And so we're taking advantage of this time to finally do a collaboration through the spiritual realm and the spiritual workshops we're doing. And we've always taught moving energy through the body safely and different techniques. We've always come from that. In fact, I remember, I don't know if you
Oh God, here we
remember,
go. Oh gosh.
the very first day that you came to my studio and we sat down in the middle of the floor. It was in the afternoon sometime. We sat down in the middle of the floor. You gave me this beautiful big crystal that you brought, and you said, would you like to just do a meditation? And I went,
Oh, I'm adorable.
you're,
That's so
you're
cute.
adorable. And I just said, are you kidding me? That's exactly what I want to do. So we both have come from that background, and we've both been doing that concurrently, throughout the years while we're teaching dance. And now we're just focusing on it a lot more.
100%. I think
Yeah.
too, within our field, it breaks down a lot of barriers. I guess you would agree,
Yeah.
of comfortability and, people wanting to share, what's going on with them, and us resonating with that as well, because we're all having very similar experiences.
Yeah.
And so then that has led us both into, a life of then working out how we can increase our coaching ability that doesn't only just involve movement and dance, but also, how we can talk about these problems and implement these techniques that really kind of help you progress as a human.
100%. And I guess that training also put us through a lot of situations and put us into competition situations and so many different situations, that places where we were guiding our students through all of those emotions as well. So everything has brought us to this point. And of course, we still include body movement and
even still dancing.
Still dancing, still got it.
We're still going.
So we do definitely include that in some of our workshops in person for sure. Yeah.
And so I guess too, then leading into, the avenues of life coaching, NLP and meditation, and how they are also, they have such synergy, when you agree, that it is just, 100%. It's also relevant.
Yeah.
It all has such a, we're all just, it's all vibration. If it's not dance and music, it's human vibration. It's beautiful.
Absolutely. And I mean, the body is energy. It's molecules vibrating, and you can also control how they vibrate. You can raise your vibration, change your frequency. There's so much you can do with the body.
And maybe we should dive into a little bit now, right?
Let's do it.
So
Are you ready?
Are
you ready?
Are you ready?
So feel free, guys, to place anything in the chat, any questions you have. And so give us a big yes in the chat if you're ready.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah, beautiful. So let's start with mindset first. What is mindset and how does it work? So we could go into the neuroscience behind the brain chemistry and why this beautiful thing does what it does. But I think before we kind of dive into that, maybe using an analogy to kind of help break down what the brain is and how it works. So, I mean, I love the analogy of we know what AI, we've fallen in love with it. It does everything for us. It writes our emails, it schedules in our appointments, it changes calls, it does everything to make our lives easier. It dissects information, and we can put in emails that say, make this a friendly tone or make this more direct. And it does it all, which is great.
Yeah.
And we're all fascinated with it. We're all so obsessed with how it can make our lives better.
Yeah.
I think what we do lose is the fact that before AI, we had just I, which is human intelligence.
Yes.
This beautiful thing that sits just on top of your head was that for us. For your whole life, it has been doing nothing but dissecting information, helping us make decisions, right or wrong, but doing, it's just been feeding information out. So if everyone wants to do just a little, we'll do a little visualization. Okay, so let's imagine that's our beautiful brain that's done such a great job up to this point, right? We're going to just take it out and we're just going to pop it just right next to you, just here, right? We're going to take emotions out of it. We're just going to see it as a tool. Yeah. So just like we use AI, we're going to use our brain that same way. So let's pop our brain to the left, and then we're going to set up two screens, one in front and then one slightly to the side. And we're going to just log that cord into that first one. And right in front of us, we're going to create that's our AI, right? And then to the right, it's how we want to act and what we want to do. So say, for instance, again, I'll use myself in this scenario. And to the right, I want to write an email, right? And the first thing we need to do first is find a subheading, a subject heading for that email. So I'm going to go to my brain and I'm going to type in my beautiful AI, and I'm going to say, I need a subject heading that involves how I'm going to process this webinar, how I'm going to sit here and do it, how it's going to go, and how I'm going to feel after it, good and bad, right? Good and bad. Put that in, press enter, and like AI, and I'm sure we've been in that situation where we wait 2 seconds and then it spits out line after line after line after line after line of just information. That's all it is. Good and bad, just text, just info. So we scroll through that info, and all that info there in that script is your subconscious. in the back of your brain, that is where that script is going. Your subconscious is running 95% of our daily life.
Your subconscious is ruling what happens to you, how you make decisions, how you interact.
And so, and that's fantastic. And again, we are so unaware of it, right? It's all going in the back. Yeah. So say in those lines, we're saying, we've got, you're going to be fantastic at this webinar. You're going to kill it. You get to do it with someone you love, who you've got history with. You were born to do this. This is something that you're so passionate about, and you can't wait to share these techniques. But in the middle of it, in the middle of all that amazing context, there's one sentence that says, you're going to freeze up because you're not good enough. Oh, just reading it triggers already, right? Out of all that text, good and bad, what I choose to make my subject heading is going to be the rest of that email.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I say I choose, I'm not good enough, this is going to be really bad. And I put it in my subject heading, which we'll call our core belief, right? I've taken it from the front of the brain to the front. It's what I've chosen to write my narrative with. So my subject heading now says, I'm not good enough. This is going to be really bad. And then I ask AI to take that subheading and create a script around it. That whole email, that whole body of that email is our reality. From that core belief, we create everything else from that, and we've disregarded everything else behind us, all that good stuff. So when we're talking about mindset, especially within this workshop that we're running, it's just taking the time to acknowledge, what's in that subconscious, what's in that script first, and what are we going to willingly choose to put in that subject heading so that we can create that reality that serves us and that we deserve. I think understanding too, with these, we call them automatic thoughts. They're the thoughts that are happening. There's millions and millions happening per second in the back of the brain. It's phenomenal. So how you can imagine trying to sift, it's like finding a needle in a haystack to find the ones that don't serve us or to find the things that really are impacting our lives. It takes a whole week just to notice an automatic thought that may not serve us. And then it takes us 67 days to change that automatic thought. And then it takes up to 540 days to change the habit and core belief attached to that automatic thought. So it's a process. It is a process.
But the good news is when you have awareness and intention, that can go faster. So this can vary person to person. All right. So it's not like something we did by default previously. Now we have awareness and focused intention. We can create new neural pathways and change these automatic mindsets on let's say negative thought patterns that come up for us. But I love that analogy. Like sometimes we can have so many positive things come up, and often, not always, but often we choose to focus on the one thing that's not positive about ourselves. And why does that happen? So that's what we want to explore. Okay. So it might also just come up as a feeling, just as an anxiety or an uneasy feeling, uncomfortable feeling. In that case, you can just observe it, but you don't need to be ruled by it. So the problem is when these feelings come up, sometimes then we go searching for those negative thought patterns. So what I want you to do right now is just either write down in the chat or write down on a piece of paper, what do you think is your dominant mindset at the moment? Okay, so we're just going to give you a minute to do that. If you're watching the replay, you might want to pause. Just write in the chat if you're live on the call with us. What is your dominant mindset? What do you think it is right now? And we'll just give you a minute.
Well, while everyone does that, maybe I'll ask you, Sherylanne, what right now, what do you think is a dominant thought form that you're maybe proud of? Because they can still be really good. We see them as bad, but what's a positive dominant thought right now that you're like, that serves me really, really well?
Right now, I know that I'm fulfilling my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And even on the days when I don't feel up to it or I don't feel worthy of it, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yes.
I'm just going to observe that, release the feelings, use tools, and just go ahead. And but honestly, most days at the moment, I'm actually waking up feeling like, well, like today.
Yeah.
My whole day was, I can't wait. I can't wait to do that. I can't wait to meet up with you and
Love that.
and do this work. I just, for some reason, that fulfills me 100%.
Sherylanne, I love that. And I mean, I think I resonate with that as well with you. I think for myself at this moment in time, there is such an excitement and joy around recognizing these thoughts when you don't have emotions attached to them.
Yes. Yeah.
When you've realized that, oh, it's just this beautiful computer doing what it does. I don't need to attach these emotions. When these thoughts come up, good or bad, you know, those bad ones, and they catch you and you recognize it and you go, oh my goodness, that's so interesting that that's a thought that's still in my brain. I cannot wait to look at how I can kind of shift that, because that's clearly not the reality I live in anymore and not what I believe.
Exactly.
But it's so deep-seated in that core belief. Where does that come from? How is that still running? How is that program still virusing through this script that is trying to upgrade as we go?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so now I'd like you just to write down, how do you think that mindset is shaping your destiny, your future? So if you think about what you want in your life and what you see down the track, maybe in 5-10 years, how is your current mindset either helping or not, or hindering your progress towards what you would like to achieve in this lifetime? So just take a moment. So how is your current mindset?
Oh, I love it. Should have seen it coming. I mean, fantastic. I think it right at this moment, it's healthy. I think it's the understanding of there is no shame in growth. That mindset of understanding that we are all perfect.
Yes.
It's all happening for a reason. That realization of knowing it's okay to do things that maybe don't seem correct or don't seem accurate to anyone else. If you believe it, you know what I mean? When you're not seeking that validation from anyone else, or, you know, you're not, I mean, another great way would probably be to understand knowing your personal discernment.
Yeah.
What you know is true, what you know your path is, and that no one else's input matters. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you know you're doing what you need to do for your sole purpose, then there's a bliss that comes with that. And I think then too, there also comes with a compassion as well. When you learn these techniques and you have already personally go through it, when you recognize it in someone else, there isn't any judgment. There isn't any kind of, I mean, trigger was such a big word for our whole lives. Everyone knows what it is. You know, oh, I got triggered, or that person, my partner said this, and I instantly got triggered. And there's no triggers when you understand that the compassion is for that person who's going through a similar process.
Absolutely. And it's really good to go throughout the day, just reminding yourself that everybody's doing their best. It's not personal. The thing is, once you train yourself and you train your mind, and we have so many tools, you know, to give you to do that with, once you can retrain your mind and rewire it, then life does become better. Things open up. I promise you, opportunities start presenting themselves. Things you thought weren't possible become possible. And sometimes you can be so affected by your environment. And of course, we recommend changing your environment around you where possible. When it's not possible, it's so good to get into a place where you really don't give a toss about what anybody thinks anymore. Now, that's easy to say. It takes a bit of practice, and it takes certain exercises and things, little tools you can use throughout your day. All right. So we have plenty of them.
Oh my goodness.
In our toolbox.
I want to start now.
I want to start now. So I want to give you just a tiny, tiny little exercise. Just check in right now. How are you feeling? How are you feeling with what we're saying? And just check in with, what did you write down for those last 2 questions we gave you? And just check in with your feeling. How do you feel about what you said? Did you understate it? Did you overstate it? And you know, definitely on the replay, pause, rewind this video and go back again. This is really important, okay? And I'd like you just to breathe into, now this is a great, great tool to use anytime throughout the day, okay? If you're faced with somebody says something or something happens and you suddenly feel uneasy, anxious, whatever emotion you're feeling, right? But it's something that maybe is a little on the negative side, not serving you. Sometimes you maybe don't even know what just happened or why you're feeling this way. It doesn't matter. Just want you just to breathe into the feeling, breathe right into it. Just hold your breath and breathe out as slowly and softly as you can. And let it dissolve out of your body. So we're not making it wrong. We're not pushing it out. We're not forcing it out. We're, in fact, holding your breath. You're like giving it a little hug. So breathe into the feeling again. Just breathe into it. Hold it tight. Hold your breath. Hold, 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 hold. Now, softly and slowly as you can. Let it dissolve out. And imagine it's like ice melting. It's like it's just dissolving out of your body. Just check in. How do you feel now?
Lighter.
A little relief?
Mm.
Yeah. So you can do that at any time of the day. It doesn't matter why you're feeling that way. We don't always have to analyze it, but it will serve you at any, and you can do that even while you're talking to someone. Yeah. But that will serve you anytime throughout the day. And often you find if you just do that tiny little thing,
Yeah.
next thing something shifts.
Yeah.
Something shifts. And because you're not blocking with your defenses anymore energetically, because we are all energy, something shifts. You'll see.
Yeah.
You'll see. Something will shift around you.
Sharon, I love that so much. And I love that technique. Breath holds such power.
Yeah.
They hold such power.
Yeah.
And I guess too, it also then it brings you into that present moment. There's a beautiful, beautiful technique by Mel Robbins, and she's phenomenal. Which is the 5-second rule. Have you heard of the 5-second
Oh yeah,
rule?
yeah. I love Mel Robbins.
Yeah, if you've heard of the 5-second rule, just pop it in the chat, just thumbs up. But just to give you a brief outline of what it is spectacular in how it works. And you will find that you will use it constantly through your day, knowing that it has such a positive impact on how you move forwards in moments like that.
Yeah.
And it is, if we go into the brain chemistry side of it as well, we always talk about these deep-seated core beliefs that don't serve us. And again, it's all negative, negative, negative. If you've reached into that basket just a little bit and find one that has actually been embedded since you were tiny, you remember, like you can remember maybe being little and maybe doing something you probably shouldn't have been doing. And then you, oh my goodness me. And then you realize, and you know, your parents have tried to stop you and they say, you're going to go do that. I'm going to count to 5, right?
Yeah.
But how do they do it? How do they, for yourself, how would they normally count to 5? Can I ask you? Would they go forwards or backwards?
From 1.
They go 1?
Yeah.
And so again, too, finding that process as well, you'll find then you can shift that. So we're already used to that format, but counting backwards from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the neuroscience behind it, it's proven that you cannot think forwards if you are counting backwards. You cannot do it.
Right.
So what that does is you can literally, like launching a rocket, you're going to launch into that next thing. The next moment you go, oh, I really need to get to the gym, but I don't know if I want to. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. It stops your brain going into that subconscious. You start to rewire those thought forms and those patterns instantly, and you've added movement to it. This happens, and even as you're breathing, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, do that beautiful breathing exercise and go. Get going. Because unfortunately, you only have now. You have now, you have the present moment, and you have a choice. You can manifest and you can create that change instantly, but you have to get energy in motion. That's all it is. So that will happen with you. And as soon as you start, it could be in the morning. I don't want to get up. My alarm's going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up out of bed, and you've done it. Already a win. Celebrate it. That celebration of stepping forwards, I don't think we do enough. I think we're so hard on ourselves that the celebration side of growth, it gets lost because I'm not at my end goal. and I can't celebrate until I'm there, becomes so
Yes.
defeatist
Yes.
because you just cannot progress. That little win, also again within the brain science behind it,
Yeah.
as soon as you celebrate, you release dopamine.
Yes.
Dopamine is the progressive movement forward drug. That's what it is. The more of that you
100%.
progress, beautiful. So that little celebration of I'm doing it, I've done it.
Yeah.
It's makes you feel great, but it also then motivates you. I'm going to continue to do it. And then you then seek it in so many other avenues of your life.
Yeah.
While you're in that mid argument with that partner and they are screaming and you've caught yourself going, oh, I'm triggered. I'm using a tone. I'm reactive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm changing that.
Yes.
I'm taking that breath
Yeah.
and I'm choosing not to react that way.
Yeah. And honestly, you're taking back your power. So the slide we have up at the moment is, what is your story around money and success? So I'd like you to take a minute and either write in the chat or just write down on with a pen and paper, what is your story around money and success as you currently see it?
I'm going to ask you the question. It's your turn now. Sherylanne, again, reflecting on that question, two very key words, money and success.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see those two words? What power do they hold in your life?
So I used to see success as when you're making a lot of money. Not so much now. I definitely feel successful every day. And this is another thing I want to get into. Well, we will get into in our course. So if you're in Sydney, we'll tell you about our 3-hour workshop in a minute. There are things you can do to feel successful in any moment. And I know that if by default, I start feeling something, first I might do the 5 to 1, or I might do the anxiety release. I've got such a toolbox full of tools now to release anything, any thoughts or any feelings not serving me. I just want my body to be able to feel good and not be distorted, not have my perception of what's actually going on distorted. So there are ways that you can feel successful daily. There are all kinds of things you can do. You can set your intentions every morning to feel a certain way, to react to people a certain way, to pre-pave how things are going to go. And like I said, we've got this workshop happening on the Saturday, the 3rd of May. So if you're in Sydney, come and see us.
Oh, please come and see us.
Please come and see us. We have so much packed into a 3-hour workshop. All kinds of exercise, all kinds of crazy things you do in pairs, in threes, and then you'll love it. It's just so much fun. It's like the most fun you can have on a Saturday morning. And deep activations that literally you'll feel like you've shifted.
And I mean, also a great way to connect with people who are also going through stuff. What a great way to kind of build a community and, realize that you're not by yourself. You're not alone. But we are probably sharing that same experience. And I mean, even around money and success, two very big words, and we all progress for more of it. We see money as success.
Yes.
I agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
But then if you've got a core belief sitting in that back of the brain that I'm not worthy, I'm never going to own that money, success is for everyone else, not me, it's never going to happen for you. We need to shift that core belief because it's not going to power through.
Yeah. So to see an external change, you need to implement an internal change. But it's possible. It's possible
100%.
to shift.
100%.
It's possible to have large shifts around different ideas. Money is just energy, but our relationship to it depends on our energy. And sometimes there can be past trauma. It can be all kinds of things standing in the way. There might be things you don't even realize standing in the way. So we like to do this exploratory, let's say, psychic surgery to find out what's in the way.
No scalpels.
And no scalpels.
All energy, guys. It's not scalpels.
All energy work. But we have these incredible exercises so you find out what's really going on for you. And it's quite mind-blowing.
Beautiful. So thank you for writing those what your story is. So we'll probably move into the next slide now too, as you could probably see on your screen. Can everyone see it? Thumbs up. Yep, beautiful. In setting intentions and creating habits, which is another very, very big topic that I think everyone's wanting to know how we navigate that.
Yeah. So I just mentioned the setting the intentions every morning. So we have, say, lists of different intention setting you can do either morning. You should definitely do it just before you sleep. Elliott is fantastic at giving you tools to create better sleep.
Or sleep.
Yeah, and to creating the beautiful environment and atmosphere to give you really good restful sleep. There are also certain things you can do throughout the day, and I swear these things just make you feel so good. So it might seem like in the beginning, oh, I'm going to have all these things to do and I'm so busy, but this is going to make it feel like you have more space, more time, and you're just going to feel happier, which means you're going to attract better people and better situations into your life daily.
And again, to really kind of turning back through on making sure that, yeah, it sounds like homework. We get it. We understand it. We know it's called work for, it's called work. And we understand that. And this is why we really push the fact that to celebrate the wins and celebrate the good stuff is what motivates you to keep going.
Yeah.
Because if you really, really want the key to success without having to do any workshops or any work, it's don't quit. You don't quit and you will get there. As soon as you quit, as soon as those drugs in the brains, the noradrenaline and the acetylcholine, when that all kicks off and you think, oh, I just can't do it anymore, that push forward, that moment where you're like, I don't want to do it. You 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you up and you out. That's why we create it. You're moving forwards, right? You're creating the habits it serves you. And if you have to shift the thought forms around even just how you word it to yourself in creating that habit. I don't want to go to the gym. Okay, well, what I do want to do is I do want to get ice cream at the end of it. Boom. The gym is just the pathway through it, and we're going to do that.
What's the ice cream now?
But then again, the end goal was the gym, right? But we didn't celebrate the fact we got up and we actually did it. Beautiful.
Yeah, and basically our intention is to show you how to feel good, how to feel better in any given situation, and how to start doing little things that make you feel really, really good, so that what's coming in the next few days, in the next months and years, you'll be happy about, you'll be excited for.
So guys, we've gotten really excited and we've spoken a lot and we are being told that we are running out of time.
Yes.
So will be a couple of things that we'll come back to touch on just to make sure. But again, just to make sure we thank you for being here for this first webinar. It is definitely something we want to continue as well. We want to be giving you these quick tools that you can use to start pushing through this stuff. We will definitely also be sending you through our free ebook, which will give you 6 very easy steps week to week, just to even think about and focus on. That really do lead you to those change in habits and just much happier mindset around that. And again, too, we've spoken about our workshop.
Yeah, so if you're in Sydney, we've got the 3-hour workshop. We also have a 6-week course coming up. So there are our emails right there. Please contact us at any time, and please feel free to send us through any questions you may have.
Please, please, please. We're also
love to hear from you.
Yes, and again, too, this as you can see, the Rewire Your Mind for Success 6-week guide that's just there in that photo. That is something that we can work with you one-on-one as well. So if there is something that you really want to target, we have a full 6-week process and course that's been created that actually helps you keep account. The full ebook has day-by-day recognition of the things we'll be working on. So say your first week is Rewire Your Mind for Success, and it is mindset. Every day there will be little components that you just have to write. It takes 2 seconds, but just also so you can kind of reflect and see how that growth works.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay in touch and we'll let you know about the next webinar coming up.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I can see our face half the time.